Martin Lewis has urged everyone who gets a payslip, no matter what job they are in or how often they are paid, to check that the tax code is correct, or it could cause a nightmare as millions are wrong. During this week's Martin Lewis BBC Radio 5 Live podcast, the consumer champion agreed with Sue, who contacted the show to say that she was shocked that so many working adults didn't know what the numbers on a payslip meant, or if they were paying the right amount of tax. Martin responded, "Absolutely right. You need to know your tax code and what it means. It's your legal responsibility, not your employer's and not HMRC's. Millions are wrong. Millions are overpaying. Millions are underpaying. It all causes a nightmare, so make sure you know what your tax code is and check that it's right." This week's Tell Us segment with the financial guru and presenter Nihal Arthanayaki was all about one thing about money that shocks you that other people don't do. Sue explained how she used to teach adult accountancy classes, and the number who didn't have a clue if they were paying the right tax at work was worrying. Sue added, to clarify, these students were mature adults who had been working and were now within an accounting environment, therefore earning for years. They weren't fresh out of college. Tax codes in a nutshell: all part-time and full-time employees, as well as those drawing from a pension, are assigned a tax code. Pay means that tax is paid before the money hits your account, so you don't risk spending it. Claire Stinton, head of workplace saving analysis at Hargreaves Lansdown, explained, tax codes look like a bewildering blend of numbers and letters, but they hold huge significance for our finances. They're used to calculate how much income tax to deduct from our wages and pension, so if your code is wrong, you could be paying more tax than you should be. It's worth understanding what your tax code means, so you can check it's right, keep an eye out for any changes, and make sure that you're paying the correct amount of tax. Nobody wants to hand over more tax than they should, but then again, if you're underpaying, you could be in for a nasty surprise when the taxman comes knocking for what's owed. Below is everything you need to know about checking your tax code. Checking your tax code: the easiest way to do this is to look at your payslip. 1. You have a note of your personal allowance tax code. You can go to the Gov.uk website and use the online Check Your Income Tax for the Current Year service. This tool, which covers the current tax year, can be used to check your tax code and personal allowance, and to see if a tax code has changed. Other options available through this online service include allowing people to see an estimate of how much tax they will pay over the whole tax year. However, the service cannot be used by self-employed workers. The Gov.uk website explains, you cannot use this service if self-assessment is the only way you pay income tax. What the tax code numbers mean: the numbers in an employee's tax code show how much tax-free income they get in that tax year. This is known as your personal allowance. You usually multiply the number in the tax code by 10 to get the total amount of income they can earn before being taxed. For example, an employee with the tax code 1257 litres can earn £12,570 before being taxed. If they earn £30,000 per year, taxable income is £17,430, £30,000, £12,570. What the letters mean: letters in an employee's tax code refer to their situation and how it affects their personal allowance. The full list of tax code letters and what they mean can be found on the UK Gov website here. Most commonly used letters: L, for an employee entitled to the standard tax-free personal allowance; S, for an employee whose main home is in Scotland BR/SBR, for a second job or pension M, for an employee whose spouse or civil partner has transferred some of their personal allowance N, for an employee who has transferred some of their personal allowance to their spouse or civil partner T. When HMRC needs to review some items with the employee. Get the latest record money news. Join the conversation on our Money Saving Scotland Facebook group for energy and money saving tips, the latest benefits news, consumer help and advice on coping with the cost of living crisis. Sign up to our Record Money newsletter and get the top stories sent to your inbox daily from Monday to Friday, including a special cost of living edition on a Thursday. Sign up here. You can also follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at @recordmoney_ for regular updates throughout the day. New: get our money news alerts on your phone by joining our daily Record Money WhatsApp community. If your tax code has W1 or M1 at the end, W1, Week 1, and M1, Month 1, are emergency tax codes and appear at the end of an employee's tax code, for example 577 liters W1 or 577 liters M1. The tax code letter K is used when deductions due for company benefits, state pension or tax owed from previous years are greater than their personal allowance. Join our daily Record Money WhatsApp community here to receive alerts on the latest money news, from benefits to shopping deals.